Hey there, it's Ben from patternprofits.net bringing you the weekly watch list, starting off with IWO, our proxy for small cap growth. We did get a nice move, cleared that descending trend line last week, still looking for a move here to between 316 and 319 level. That would be the upper range of this channel and an area of interest above. If we look though, 50 FFTY, that's the IBD 50 ETF. It has broken out. Quite a move here when we discussed this descending trend line. Once it came through there, pretty much straight up since, and not bad volume down there as well. And then PDP, the other one that we like to keep an eye on, the momentum ETF, also has broken out and into new highs. Let's get right into the watch list. DLO, where I'm going to start. D Local Limited, power earnings gap, that anchored VWAP from that day one of the power earnings gap holding as support. You've got double inside days here, 68.71 pivot that is kind of dancing around, looking for that to make the turn. If you've got 10 MA cloud right there too, so I'd expect, at least on the first test, you'd hope for that level to hold. What I like to do is, if that level should fail, especially early in the session intraday, attach an anchored VWAP to that prior swing. That may be, you see a provided area of support here, and that may be the next level if this should give way early in the session. But another way to keep an eye on where support may come in if this level should fail. But ideally, we just get a move outside of that double inside. If you zoom into the 30-minute, you'll have a triangle there. Break that descending trend line, and off we go. That's what we'd actually be looking for. I also have AMBA, Ambarella, power earnings gap, held up very well. We have a 137.21 pivot over here. What I'm actually looking for here is for this one to put in a bit of a handle here. I'd like to see this volume dry up. This was great volume on the power earnings gap, but we like to see this go sideways, kind of quiet volume. Let the anchored VWAP catch up. Let the cloud, which is way down here, catch up to price, but one that definitely should be on your radar over the next week or two. We've talked about Livent, LTHM. We've talked about this one quite a few times. I actually did try to go and break out last week. Came back. It has turned that anchored VWAP back up, which is what we talked about. Came back and retested. So far acting as support. So want to see if this can make some upside progress from here. Volume is drying up on the pullback, so we'll look for that. I don't like these wicks up here. That means there is a seller up here, but we'll see if it makes some progress, get that seller out of the way. Maybe looking at new highs there. I also have APP, AppLovin, and we had a double bottom pattern here. I didn't highlight it, but cleared that pivot of the double bottom. This is the double bottom, right side shakeout on big volume that we always like to see, and then big volume coming in on the way back up. Pulled back here, tested anchored VWAP from off of the high from the upside, has that turning up now. You have another pivot, this being cup and handle pattern now. You have a 77.03 pivot, not an inside day there, but did stay high and tight, and that can easily be managed against that 77.03 pivot. So watch for that one to confirm to the upside. I also have, seems like we're watching this one every week. Nothing has changed here. Dancing around that pivot, just hasn't gone yet, but it did have a oops reversal on Friday. So look for that to make some progress there. 10 MA cloud acting as support, and now hopefully can get that move we've been waiting on into new highs. I also have Red Rock Resorts, RRI. Football season about to start. You'll see a theme here. Cup pattern, high handle putting in here. You have a 46.61 pivot. So just want to see if it can reclaim that pivot, turn to the upside, kind of thinking along the same lines. DraftKings, 61.77 pivot, little ascending triangle that you have here. Inside day to work with there. See if it can inside day come out and clear that 61.77 pivot. Then you've got highs around 74, just under 75. These highs you can target over here once we push out of that triangle. Getting into some of the power earnings gap names, Nike is right back to anchored VWAP from this power earnings gap, which has acted as support here, may do so again. Zoom in a little bit more here. You've got Cloud 5065 right there. It's just below that means it's just below the 50 MA. So let's see if this area acts as support, can make the turn. I mentioned on FinTwit that I had a target up here around 184. Doesn't mean that it gets there all in one trade. Similarly, same group and very similar setup is Crocs. Looks very similar. Anchored VWAP from off of the power earnings gap. You also have a pivot there, 136.50, closed just above that. Put in a hammer on Friday. It'll probably move similar to Nike, so see if they both make the turn here. Snap, our old friend Snapchat, another power earnings gap, setting up a little bit of a triangle here now, and you're right there at anchored VWAP from off the power earnings gap. We'll see if it can push above there, take out the descending trend line, and then first you want to target that power earnings gap high. 79.18 was the high there, so that would be one that you want to take out, and then take out those all-time highs at 80.85. I also have a couple of newer power earnings gaps to keep on your radar because they acted really well. SMTC, which had a big day here, big volume, strong close, and then went nice and tight inside on Friday. Power earnings gap high 79.44. Possibly can get a shot at it earlier. The inside day comes out there, but 79.44, the important pivot above. Similarly, MDB, which just had a monster session on Friday, 508.97, the high there. You know how we like to approach these. If they're going to be really aggressive and come after it, it will take out that 508.97 level. Just be careful if it does that within the first 10 or 15 minutes on Tuesday morning. Everything I shared here has been through TrendSpider. My friends at TrendSpider having a 40% off sale. It's good until tomorrow, which is Monday. The link, I'll leave that link if anyone's interested in using TrendSpider software. I couldn't do what I do without it, so I will leave that link if anyone's interested in giving TrendSpider a try. They do have a 7-day free trial. That's all I've got. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend. I will see you guys over on Tuesday. Have a great trading week, and I will see you over on FinTwit.